the author of The Diary of a CEO in Crisis, the book called Equanimity, on shelves now, by the way. Simon Leslie. What's happening?
Hello, Brad.
Hello.
How are you? Nice to be back. I'm one of those auspicious people who got 2 visits.
Yeah, you guys, if you don't know who he was, then you must have missed the podcast where he was on last time. He wrote a book called There's No F in Sales. And someone's like, what? He's like, there's no F in sales. Get it? There's no F in sales. But you wrote multiple books, haven't you?
That's now the 4th.
Yeah. What's the third? What's the second or the first?
The White Belt Thinking. And then I wrote a compilation of poems. Poems. Yeah, see, and guys, if you guys follow Simon Leslie around, he's almost like, a mythical figure. And ultimately, you built, what is it, Inc.? Inc., yeah.
Yeah, did you build that from scratch?
Yes, sir.
So he built I would say a media company that ultimately controls airports and airline programming.
Travel media.
Huh?
Travel media. And
got it to where it was huge. You had offices all over the world. How many employees at one time?
Just over 300.
And then COVID kicked you in the rucksack. Huh?
In the bollocks, as we say
in the
England.
Bollocks. And then what?
And we've so we got about to 150 million, and then in March 2020 we went to minus nothing actually. And then I didn't plan to write this diary. I just decided to see what I could do with what was left of the business and the people, and it turned into this diary, which was 102 weeks of what we did, what I did, how I kept myself sane, how people helped me, people like you helped me, and 49 other people. And we put together a transition, I guess, of a business that was once the king of the in-flight magazine. So if you look at March 2020, we had more in-flight magazines than anybody else on the planet. We dominated that space. And then in 9 days of March of 2020, they all disappeared.
Well, so did travel. Now, the book's called Equanimity. What's that mean?
Remaining calm under pressure.
Remaining calm under pressure. So I guess I'm equanimitous myself.
At times.
Now, I see that I did not make the cover of the book.
Now, that's obviously a very big rookie error, but anybody buying the copy today, if you buy a copy today, Brad is on the cover.
50 conversations that made the difference, including Jordan, the Wolf of Wall Street, Belfort, Tim Story, good dude,
nice man.
Heather Monahan, Gary Ridge. Do I need my readers for this? Gary Ridge, who's that?
Gary Ridge was the CEO of WD-40.
David Meltzer, Eric
Edmeades.
Is that another CEO?
No, Eric is another like you, goes around, but he's a health and wellness specialist. Yeah,
that's his last name, Edmeades. Yeah. Coach Michael Burt, he made it. Damn, old Burt made it. Old BL didn't make it, but old Burt made it. Chris Voss, that's a good one. Adrian Bankert, JJ Virgin. I remember JJ Virgin a long time ago.
She's been on the show, right?
No, she hasn't.
She should be. She's the queen.
Maybe she is the queen. She's been around a long time, dude. When I started Lightspeed, I had a guy by the name of Randy Alvarez come into the office, and he was dating some lady named JJ Virgin, and that's how I met JJ Virgin a long time ago. Yeah, and she just kept going. She's done well for herself.
She really has.
She's a smart woman too, but that's how I know JJ Virgin. But and there's many more, because obviously I was also one of them. I just didn't make the cover. I guess my name's not big enough yet. That's okay.
Lea like tea.
That's okay. So I did make it though, didn't I?
You did make it.
And I thought, in my opinion, after reading the book, mine was the best, I believe.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Good. See, we got that on record, folks.
The interesting thing was, there's your bomb. You can't bomb yourself.
I can do whatever I want.
The only thing I realized I could do was inspire my team. And I reached out to everyone I knew and some people I didn't know and said, please come and help me. And you were one of those. And actually, you were the first person to call me. As soon as this all kicked off, you phoned me and said, you're in a mess here, aren't you, son? I remember where I was standing when you called, and I went...
Well, if I remember correctly, you were standing naked by a pool doing jumping jacks or something.
I was in Brighton, yeah. I was by the seaside, and I was wandering around, and the phone rang, and it was you, and I went, oh, help! But all I did was I reached out to people, and everyone showed their kindness and supported me, and they came in. And what I thought was happening was you guys were inspiring my team, but actually what I think transpired was there were so many positive messages from all of you, and as I'm taking the notes of all these messages, I'm thinking, oh, I could do that better, or I could do that better, or I can improve this. And that's what happened. It's just, I started to journal. I journaled everything right the way from the start. And then halfway through, I guess, I thought, there's so much powerful information here. It's criminal of me not to share this.
Hey, by the way, if you guys aren't following Simon already, where do they follow you? Instagram.
Simon _ Leslie 21.
At Simon _ Leslie 21. LESLIE, folks, 21. And where do they get this book?
Amazon, Audible, Kindle, wherever.
Anywhere and everywhere. And it's been out. It's a popular book.
Yes, it's doing well.
And it's a diary.
It's documented from February 2020 right the way through December 31st, 2021. Now,
it's a playbook to live the life of your dreams. Why do you say that?
Because I decided when I went into, or when as I'm buried in COVID, I wasn't buried. I was rebirthing.
Did you panic?
I don't think I ever panicked. It's really weird because I remained calm until it was all over.
Yeah,
and
you said your business was doing 150 million, right?
Right.
And then none.
And mine's none. So
that would be, in my opinion, nerve-wracking to say the least.
And I don't know why, but I really was calm and wasn't stressed out by that. It was unnerving, but I wasn't nervous.
Was your lifestyle at 150 million? Like, were you guys living the high life, flying around in private jets, driving all the fancy cars, living in castles out in Edinburgh?
A little bit.
Did that have to end or change?
We didn't stop that. Because everybody else said, oh, we're not traveling during COVID. We had the best holidays. You know, you could go to places and stay at the best accommodation for nothing because they were all empty. So, you know, I think there was an opportunity. You know, everybody said, I want more time.
So and I couldn't travel because of the bullshit.
Exactly. But then they said, you can have more time. And guess what? We sat at home in our pajamas watching Tiger King and feeling sorry for ourselves. We didn't. We got out. We went. I needed to go to the Caribbean to get into
the
America.
Best fish and chips you've ever eaten?
Murfreesboro.
Isn't that crazy?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
So far to date, and coming from an English chap, that's something, isn't it?
You know who I had it with?
Me?
Yeah.
Who else?
And some other bloke called Brad Lea.
My camera dude.
Yeah.
Why? Because I've always got a camera dude. Now, the question is why don't you?
I do. I've got my camera dudes. They're here.
How come the camera's not on?
He's not. He's being lame. Come on, get that camera on. You've got to work it. He has a proper camera dude.
You always have to have a camera on, especially when you're Simon Leslie. See what I'm saying? But anyway, dude, the reason why I reached out to you is because, dude, when I first met you, you know, you're a funny dude. You're all nice and kind. You're like a nice, kind British guy. And so I was sitting there and COVID hit and I'm like, I wonder what old Simon's doing. And I didn't even put two and two together. I didn't even think, dude, I bet you his world is freaking tossed. Let me call him. Like I didn't really have that kind of intuition. I just thought, you know, wonder what old Simon's up to. So I said, hey, Simon, what's up? And you're like, hey, you know, would you talk to my people? And what'd I say?
Yes, sir.
I'm like, sure, of course I would. So I talked to the people. That was fun. Then I got that big cool thing and I'm like, dude, I said all that shit. Like, that's good. Like, I am pretty good. Matter of fact, dude, I think that's actually, if I trace back my imposter syndrome end, it's about that time. I think you've cured my imposter syndrome.
It was one of the questions I asked you on the last podcast. Why have you got that? And
I used to have it.
Yeah. That moment. What we did was
now I've got the opposite.
Exactly. we got a quick drawer to draw Brad's talk and literally talked about all the things. She drew everything that he talked about during the talk. And
so if I said it, she'd sketch it out.
It was good, right?
Yeah. And little quotes.
I thought you were talking about the
I still have that thing.
I hope so. You should have that on the wall.
The problem is I was going to get a different house. So I said, let me just save that because I was going to put it in my house. I think it's like cool. Then I was going to put it in my office. You've been in there. It's packed. So I'm like, let me just save this until I get the house. And then I've never gotten the house. So it's not up, but it is at home. And I know right where it is. It will be up one day. I'm going to put a big thing on it. You know why? Because we've just discovered that was probably what cured my imposter syndrome. Because when I saw everything that I said, I'm like, that is good shit. But usually when I say it, I don't even realize half the time that I said it.
Because it's all natural. It comes out naturally.
Well, because I'm just giving you my opinion on things. People say, what'd you say? Say that again. I'm like, shit, what did I say? Like, I gotta hit rewind, see what I said. I don't know.
Yeah.
But dude,
there's some really good stuff.
Yeah, but to me, that's why I'm always grateful for Simon Leslie.
And I'm grateful for you.
Then I ran into you again at the Coach Burt thing. He made the cover of the book.
Yeah.
Coach Burt, Coach Michael Burt. If you guys don't know who he is, look at the cover of Equanimity. These are probably, honestly, I would imagine, well, I would just imagine like I'm going to put the most prominent names on the front so it helps sell books.
Not just my favorites.
Oh, so had nothing to do with prominence.
No just
wonder.
Favorites.
Well, for next time, marketing purposes,
yeah,
you should probably put the more known names on the outside so everybody else wants to see what their story was. You know, like if you had Brad Pitt, Danny DeVito,
blow up such a big one with just your
Quentin
name
Tarantino, who
Brad
else?
Lea and 49 others.
Who would be your dream conversations? 50 dream conversations. Who would be on the cover now? Anybody. You could have got anybody.
I think I'd like to talk to Elon Musk, Richard Branson, and then most of the people in that book. Actually, I enjoyed the conversations with all of them.
I know, but if you could pick, it wouldn't have been half those people.
No, I think.
Well, then, dude, you need your picker fix.
I think each of them added something.
I know that's just being nice. If
no,
you had,
it's not
yes,
true.
It is. No, it isn't, dude. You're not going to pick Coach Burt out of everybody in the world to talk to.
Coach Burt was good.
Doesn't matter if it was good. Doesn't matter if you like him. If you had the choice to talk to anybody in the world, Coach Burt would be on your list of 50. Now, and by the way, some people say, what do you mean? 50. What's wrong with Coach Burt? I don't, there is nothing wrong with Coach Burt, nor does there have to be in order to say, I'd rather talk to Gandhi than Coach Burt. I'd rather talk to, like, for example, you know, I mean, I could think up 50 and I'd just keep going, and then I'd get Google and I'd keep going, and Coach Burt's name wouldn't be on the list until I got to like 500,000 maybe.
Poor Coach Burt.
Not just Coach Burt. My name probably wouldn't be on the list. Like, who you'd want to talk about. I take that back. Mine should be on the list because you know what you'll get? You'll get an authentic, unique perspective, and that's really what we should.
Maybe Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan would be a great one. But point being is you want perspective. So that's why I'd want to go talk to these people back in time. You know, what was Abraham Lincoln thinking? You know, what John F. Kennedy think right before that bullet hit him in the head? And by the way, does everybody know, like in the UK, that was an assassination?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, who like everybody thinks it's that Lee Harvey Oswald guy. Wasn't.
You're going to do your conspiracy
But how come nobody investigates to get to the bottom of it and then hold the people accountable?
It's easier.
No, because it's the 3-letter agencies that'll shut you down or murder you. By the way, we better quit talking about it. I want to get a black helicopter coming out of the sky. All right, let's go back to a positive topic.
There's two points there. If I was doing another book of 50 amazing conversations, I'd have different people. But these people were brought in specifically to help the team and remember where they are in their development as well.
And basically each story, you kind of condense down the value of what they said.
Absolutely.
So you really get a lot of value reading this book. There's going to be people all over the bomb squad going, where do I get this book? Where do I get this book? Where do I get this book?
Good.
You just go to Amazon.
They need it. The next 24 months are going to be Armageddon-ish. There's going to be a tough time for most small, medium-sized businesses over the next.
Do you believe that?
100%.
Well,
now listen,
we shall see who's right. Come back in 2 years. We'll see who's right.
I am not participating. I'm telling you
I'm
that
not
now.
participating either.
So you and me will be fine because we like opportunity. We realize that opportunities are gift wrapped in problems, so that's fine.
That's
and
right.
we're looking.
That means there's a huge opportunity coming.
100%. But there are a lot of people who've not been through these challenging times before who are going to suddenly, because remember, during COVID, they all got bailed out. They all got their loans and they got their money back. You got them their money back for their employees.
I didn't do it, but yeah.
But you've been helping. I think that stopped a lot of businesses going to the ground that should have gone. There should have been a much bigger clear out, and there wasn't. So this time we're gonna have some serious property crashing, and we're gonna have some serious business crashing as well. Dude,
so after COVID, you dealt with the blow, and then you figured out somehow, some way, how to turn the company around. What'd you do to shift? What shifted?
I never thought travel was not coming back, and as you can see from the numbers now, travel is back bigger than it's ever been. So
is that the only thing that saved you? Is travel's back?
No, I said, look, I just didn't know how long it would last. That was the challenge, and we were running out of money fast. So we started doing things which would.
Did everybody know that you were running out of money fast?
Not really.
Good.
That's where the equanimity came in. You're keeping it going.
That's where the equanimity comes in, right?
That's right. Everybody.
Because that would be my advice. Like, never let them see you sweat. Just chill, dog. There's more money where that came from. We're getting a little low. Don't worry, folks. We've never ran dry. Calm down. Daddy's in charge. Relax, everyone.
But that's how I felt. I generally felt like that. And people kept saying to me, "Why are you so calm?" I said, "Because something. It's opportunity is coming. It's just gift wrapped in problems, and I've just got to peel back through these problems." I got lucky a little bit, but you make your own luck. All the airlines said we're not carrying the magazine, so we started producing a few magazines and sending it to their best guests. So that kept us in business. Didn't make us any money, but it kept the oils, the cogs moving. And then we'd bought a TV network in 2019, and then CNN on January the 12th, 2021 said they were leaving the airport. And as part of this, I managed to acquire.
They're leaving. Did you say the Emerald?
You
said they're leaving the Emerald?
The airport.
Oh, the airport.
And now we've got the biggest TV network. So before COVID, we had the biggest in-flight magazine publisher, and now we're the biggest in-flight airport TV network. So we've gone from dominating one space to dominating another space. And that's exciting. And we have NFL at the airport, World Cup.
How? Right place, right time?
Right place, right time. Saw an opportunity and took my size 12s and jammed them until they couldn't shut the door.
Did you just show up as Simon Leslie, all jolly and shit?
Jolly and nice. 23 no's. 23 no's, never got a yes.
Did you send cookies and donuts and all that?
And Fortnum and Mason hampers. You like that?
Huh?
Melissa like that.
What?
The Fortnum and Mason hamper.
So you showed up all jolly and happy and closed their ass basically on giving you the contract, because they could have. Was there any other company?
No, they were quite happy to write it off. And remember, if you saw what they did with CNN Plus, 300 million a month.
And by the way, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, like if you go to the airport and you're sitting there waiting on your flight and you see the TVs with what looks like TV on, that's not really TV, is it?
It's Reach TV.
Yeah, it's emulated TV.
We work with NBC.
Yeah, but there's no real TVs on in an airport, is there?
No, there's real TV. We play live sport and live CNBC, live Today Show.
I know, but that TV is only running.
I don't want to look at that light.
Paid programming.
No, it's proper programming.
So then, why don't I just shut your shit off?
Why?
What do you mean why? Because I want to watch something else.
But you haven't got the control. And
that's my point.
You can't flick through the ads.
So they're captive.
Yeah, it's great.
All you do is get to look up and see what's on that TV, and what's on that TV you're controlling.
Yes, sir.
In all the airports?
80 to 90 airports in the US and Canada.
So most of the airports?
Most of the airports, yeah.
Now, if you wanted to, could you put my picture of like me doing this with the headphones and it says dropping bombs and biggest podcast going?
Did you read your text this morning?
And by the way, you can even take my podcast episodes. There's over 500 of them. Chop them up, bleep them out, and run them in the airports. Dude, I'm telling you, it'd be huge for you. And
have you seen my text this morning?
No.
You need to read your text then.
All right.
I sent you 10 ideas.
I know, dude, but I've been slammed, right?
You're very busy, man.
I'm very busy.
Trying to make you even more famous at the airports.
But do you control the airports to that degree?
Yeah, we
Okay, so anybody listening right now, if they wanted to be on those TVs, they could reach out to you, and for a certain amount, regardless of whether they caught you in a good mood or not, you can arrange for people to be seen in every airport in the United States.
Yes, sir. And you know the other thing I can do
as
well?
Valuable.
I'll tell you what's
folks,
even more valuable.
Valuable. That's valuable.
That's good, right? And then the next
I
thing
think you're just discovering it too. You're like, hey, fuck, he's right. I do.
No, I've known it for a while.
So are you looking for a good ad guy to go find companies that want to be on the TV?
Yes.
Because right now you probably have a lot of open space.
There's a lot of people suddenly coming available, I think.
I know, but like last time I checked, I remember being in an airport and I looked up the TV and it was like some like news looking thing. So that means, what was that?
When was that?
I don't think it was anybody paying to be there. It was that free shit you're talking about.
Quality content.
Yeah, but we'd want quality content to be paid content, wouldn't we?
We want quality content, quality advertisers, and we want an experience for our customers.
That's lovely. But wouldn't you rather have all that and be paid to air it?
Sure.
Right. So now you're looking for people with brands and companies that want to drive traffic. So while you're sitting in the airport, why don't they see old Brad Lea dropping bizzles? Now all of a sudden the podcast blows up because everybody at the airports, and by the way, I'm being recognized at airports nowadays, which is crazy, but that would give you like ridiculously recognized at airports. So like how much would that,
like this double take?
And by the way, dude, like how much would that cost me if I said, no, I'm serious. I do want to do that. I want to take all my episodes. We'll edit to bleep out the bleep so it's nice and clean.
Yeah, it's got to be clean. Of
course.
We swear too much.
We the bleeps handle that.
Yeah.
We modify the episodes, bleep out the nonsense, and play it at the airports. I think people would love it.
Well, just for Brad's purposes, I'm going to tell you.
And we might have to change the name because it's dropping bombs, and nobody wants bombs at the airport.
We've got the cigar show where you talk about cigar and business.
I'm not a cigar expert.
You're probably more of an expert than most cigar experts.
Dude, listen, I hope these are Cuban, even if they're not, I appreciate them. But like I've been realizing, unless they're Cuban, I don't even like smoking them anymore. Now, there are a few exceptions to that. You want to know them?
Go on.
Number one, a Davidoff Royal Release.
That might be Davidoff.
A Davidoff Royal Release.
It's not a Royal Release, but
Davidoff's still good, but Royal Release specifically.
It's a very British Davidoff one.
Padron 80th anniversary, Family Reserve.
This is a message for anybody listening. If you want to talk to him, this is what you need to smooth his boots.
But yeah, but I'm telling you, not anymore. I'm getting over cigars.
I'm very glad to hear
because
that.
I ran out of Cubans and they're hard to get, and it's just a pain in the ass to get them. So I'm like, but if I have Cubans, I smoke them all day. But I'm been out of Cubans, so I'm like, am I going to keep smoking at all? Do you smoke a lot?
No.
How many cigars do you smoke?
2 last month.
Do you know that guy that we smoked one with puked in my truck on the way back?
Yeah, I did. That's what happens if you take a novice and give him a cigar. That's what's going to happen.
Well, no, that's what happens when you try to go along with the crowd.
Exactly.
You don't do that. Like when we said, you want a cigar? He just said, I don't smoke cigars. We said, okay, well then sit there while we smoke ours. Which technically means you do smoke them. You just don't smoke your own.
But to be fair, it was your driving as well.
It was not the driving. And what's funny is he got up in front after I dropped you off, and we're driving down the road, and I look at him and he looks a little green, like he looks literally green, but I thought it was just the night and the way the light or something was shining on him. So I just looked, I thought to myself, he looks morbid, like green. And then I looked this way and he said something like he has hot flashes or some shit. And I said, you don't smoke cigars, do you? And he goes, oh, not really. And then as soon as he sounded like that, I said, dude, you better not fucking puke. And as soon as I said that, his hand came up to his mouth, and all of a sudden you heard, and it sounded like it squirted everywhere. And it was in the dark. So all I could be, I was like, you son of a bitch, brand new Dodge T-Rex, badass, freaking, it's not, I was going to say velvet interior. It's a suede. Ew, I'm thinking, man, I pulled over so fast, opened the door. He's like,
pushed it out.
No, he was all apologetic. Like, dude, I'm sorry. I looked over and thankfully there was a little bit in a few areas, but it was not what it sounded like. And I'm like, thank God. So he wiped that shit up and then I had it, detailed the next day. But the point is don't try to fit in. Like, be yourself, and he wouldn't have puked. Okay? Be yourself. What do you think about that?
I couldn't agree more. But I still blame your driving because your driving's terrible.
Now, out of all these people that you've interviewed,
I like the way you deflect.
huh?
But carry on.
My driving's not terrible.
Terrible
I've never been in a car accident my entire life. 53 years of driving.
Yeah. Don't ask me about my driving because I've got a big dent on the back of my car at the moment.
I've never crashed a car.
Sorry, carry on.
You know why though?
Why? Because you drive so bloody fast.
No, because I'm what you call a lucky individual.
Oh, that's it. So am I. But
I'm probably one of the luckiest dudes on the planet Earth. Like I'm just straight up lucky.
I agree.
I'm so lucky. One time we were walking up a hill, and I was playing a game that me and my friends used to play called What If. And we would say, like, what if so-and-so punched you in the face? And my friend would say, well, I'd kick him in the dick or whatever. What would you do if so-and-so kissed you on the lips? You know, oh, I'd do this or I'd that. So we were walking and it was my turn. And I said, dude, what if a bird just shit in my hand? And as soon as I said it, a bird shit in my hand.
You told that story the last time.
It's the truth,
we
dude.
are seriously lucky
Listen,
together.
if I'm lying, I'm dying. That happened. Name somebody in the world that could command a bird to shit in their hand and it happens. Is that lucky?
That's just a bit stupid, really.
No,
you
dude,
should have said 10 grand in my hand.
No, that's lucky. One time I called 5 roulette numbers in a row and got kicked out of the casino.
Did you put money on them?
Yes.
Good man.
I got removed from the casino because I hit 5 numbers in a row. Who hits 5 numbers in a row?
Certainly not us this weekend. It's been a very expensive weekend.
I call my wife right now. She'll tell you. She was the one participating. I was drunk and I kept telling her what to do. And she'd sprinkle a few on the number I said. And then the rest of the table, you know, she's all over the table. She's one of those people that have chips everywhere.
Yes, I like her.
Yeah. So I told her it's this one. So she just, you know, humors me and throws a couple on there. Well, it hits. She's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, and I'm like, boom. So now she's got stacks. So the next go around, they, you know, take all the chips away. And she loves doing this, I think. So she's doing this. And I said, babe, it's this number. And so she goes, another couple. Nothing. Like, you know, humoring me. Hits. Now she's got twice.
Now she starts getting serious, right?
No. Now she's got twice as much. Everybody's kind of, the vibe's kind of picking up. And so now she's just plopping them everywhere with 2 hands. Pop, 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 putting them everywhere. And I said, babe, it's this number. And she goes, and put a freaking stack on it. And then everybody was listening the whole time to me saying this. And so this other guy reaches over, doink. This other guy reaches over, doink. And then all of a sudden, no more. Bam. 3rd one. They can't believe it. People are shitting their pants. Dude, they're like, oh my God. Then they start going, what's the next number? What's the next number? And so the dealer or the dude spinning the ball, you know, you could tell he was not in charge. Yeah. He was kind of like,
what's going on here?
Yeah, his face was like, what the hell?
When it comes to selling your products online, Instagram can help your business connect with people who love to shop.
So he's just sitting there like this, like enjoying what he's seeing too, because it's like, wow, this is pretty miraculous. So I said, the next one, right? Now, everybody goes over and puts their money on it, and it hits. And the casino could not believe it, went and got their little pit boss guy, came back. Between the time that happened, there was a 5th number. I said what it was. Everybody put their money on it. It hit. And then they told me I got to leave. And everyone said, oh, boo, boo. So me and my wife scraped off all the money we had, and we went and cashed out and left with thousands and thousands of dollars. And I was drunk, mind you. So the next day I didn't really remember. Everyone had to kind of like tell me what was happening. But I had, you know, I remember, but I don't remember. You ever been hamburgered like that?
Do you think you're like Nostradamus or something? You're predicting these things.
I'm lucky, bro.
And predictor as well. Predictor of
I
trends.
could be psychic too. You never know. Are you psychic?
I know.
Huh?
Who knows?
Are you mostly in London?
I oscillate between here, the US, so Miami, London, and a little bit of Singapore.
Why London?
That's where I was. That's home.
I know, but so
It's home.
I know, but why? Why is it home?
Because there's something special about being in London.
Were you born and raised there?
I was born in Wales, which is the place where sheep are scared, and men and sheep are scared.
Well, it's probably the same place they create like Spotted Dick.
You can't do the same gags. We've done all these ones. We've got a fresh ones now.
What are you talking about?
We did the Spotted Dick last time.
Is this a spot?
Spotted Dick.
Oh yeah, Spotted Dick.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that?
No.
Do you? Anybody like Spotted Dick?
They got creams for it now, so it's all right. We've cleared it all up.
What other food is like? Because when I went there, dude, everything seemed to be in gravy. Everything seemed to be.
But you haven't been for a while.
Everything seemed to be really plain tasting and smothered in gravy.
But they did. You had very interesting friends at that time, and they took you to very cheap restaurants.
Well, we did. Again, I went to is it called Leicester Square?
Leicester.
And then there's one with a T, I think, Trafalgar Square or something like that.
Square, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. And he said, "Mind the gap" everywhere. Everybody was walking around, sounded just like y'all.
Yeah.
I like London. It was kind of cool.
Can we get you back there, please? Because I think there's people in the UK who would like to listen to you talk and do your stuff.
Dude, I didn't mind London. The only thing I remember though from the food, because we just went to a couple of restaurants while we were there, is it seemed like it was always gray. Like the food was gray.
You told me you went to an Angus steakhouse. Now, if you tell anybody in England you went to see,
it was gray and it was covered. It was covered in gravy. And I remember the hotel rooms were tiny as hell.
And they don't have A1 sauce.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
So I do need to get back there.
You do.
Because I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Let's
Otherwise,
agree.
you guys wouldn't make it home.
Let's agree, right?
As Simon said, it's home.
Spring 2022-3. You're going to come to London. We're going to do a big event in London. We're going to get you on stage, and let's get you a few more fans for Dropping Bombs.
Can I bring my spouse?
You may.
Wonderful news.
We will treat her to the best
restaurants. I'll have my agent call your people.
He will take you to the best restaurants in London because he only eats at the best restaurants. He's above his age and eating band.
Beautiful news. That's the best way to be. Best restaurant here, in your opinion?
In Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
We went to Nobu, but it was okay.
Where?
Nobu.
Yeah, Nobu's okay. You guys know that this is the land of 5-star kick-ass restaurants.
Yeah, some of them are, but they've been imported and they've been watered. That's the problem with them.
No, dude, there's some good restaurants.
Mizuma in...
You guys like sushi?
Mizuma in the
Mizumi. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But you like sushi?
Yeah.
Go to Sushi Roku at the Caesars Forum Shops. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go there tonight. Unbelievable. Okay? There's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
I love food. But now I'm, working out and eating right. So now I just eat turkey and, chicken and bullshit.
And it makes you happy.
But I do get to cheat. And when I cheat,
fish and chips.
I get up in it. No, I don't go greasy and nasty when I cheat. I go delicious. But like sushi's delicious to me. Do you like sushi?
I do.
The fact that it has rice and some sauces makes it not necessarily as good as turkey and rice, but it's still good, don't you think? You guys like it?
They live on it. They'd have sushi 3 meals a day. It's like my other son said he wanted to have Chinese for lunch, dinner and breakfast. I said, you can't have it for lunch, dinner and breakfast. He goes, well, they do in bloody China and there's billions of them over there.
Dude, so right now your business is back in action. People listening to this right now, if they do want to advertise in the airports, who do they call?
Reach out to us, inc-global.com. Come talk to us.
Tell them the bomb squad is why you're there.
Tell them the bomb squad.
So
Ask them for the special bomb
send
squad
me a
deal.
watch or something special.
The bomb squad deal. But not only at the airports, in the planes. We're also, the biggest growth I see for us at the minute is Wi-Fi.
Okay, so how do I get my show, Dropping Bombs, on the airplanes and in the airports?
Read your text.
Now or later?
Later.
Okay.
And we're going to make it happen. But seriously, Wi-Fi is the biggest growth area for us. So now if you go on American or JetBlue, free Wi-Fi is provided by our advertisers. And that's the most engaged way to reach this unbelievable audience.
100%. See, the advertisers are smart. They'll pay for the Wi-Fi just to get them connected.
Get them connected. You're doing something positive, and they're engrossed in your brand for 30 seconds.
Do you have particular airlines or all of them?
I work with...
What if I'm an airline and I want you to help me do it for mine?
If what?
If I'm listening and I own an airline, you think nobody listening owns airlines? How the hell do you know?
I don't. I think people listening all the time.
Those are my sound effects.
There will be a load of new airlines starting over the next couple of years. You're going to see it because this is what happened in 2001, 2008. More and more airlines started up. They came and went. There was 53 new airlines in the beginning of the early 2000s, right? Because everybody took advantage of it. You know, oil's probably a little bit high for it at the minute, but the minute it drops a little bit, you'll start seeing some more airlines coming.
That's good news. Now, if you could tell the bomb squad anything you wanted, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them, listen, you're 1 or 2 deals away from either nirvana or failure. 1 or 2 losing clients, losing staff. Make sure you get a copy of this. This book will become like the Bible to you over the next 2 years. It'll have the answer to whatever problem life throws at you, and you can dip in, dip out, listen to the various stories from all the 50 people, and they will help you figure out whatever problems life throws at you. And by the way, life is going to throw some serious curveballs at us over the next year or 2, even though we're not participating.
Now, do you have it all chapterized?
Yep.
Do you know my chapter?
Not off the top of my head.
Looks like chapter 10.
Chapter 10. It's a good number.
Page 76. So if you guys want to just get to the good shit, skip to chapter 10, page 76. Forget the rest of them, or at least read them after you read mine so you have a baseline. Simon, appreciate you coming in.
It's always fun to see you.
Nice to meet the family. You got the whole family here?
Half of them. Another 2 more in London.
Now, when do you guys go back?
No.
What do you mean, now?
No.
Like you leave today?
As soon as you finish, we're running to the airport.
All right, then. Fly safe. Folks, go follow him by the time he lands down at Heathrow. You going to Heathrow?
Yes, sir.
Or are you going to the other one?
March 2023, right? We're making this happen.
What's the other one? Glasgow?
Glasgow, Gatwick.
Gatwick, yeah, Gatwick.
No, you don't fly to Gatwick.
Where are you going? Heathwick or
Heathrow?
Gatwick or Heathrow?
Heathrow, where I go. Heathrow.
Go follow him on social media by the time he lands at Heathrow. Until next time, keep that shit real.